Hello, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about how to get into reading and just simplify it for people so it's not so overwhelming. And yeah, I just want to encourage people to get into reading. I know it's different from my usual videos where it's painting or gaming, but I don't know. I just felt like doing it, so here we go. Where to start? I think a lot of people probably don't want to read because they may find it boring. Or, for example, this was me in school. Whenever we'd be like forced to read books, I didn't want to do it, because well, it's homework, like why would you want to read a really boring book when you could like be outside or be doing anything else? So I just want to start off with that. I got into reading in middle school. I started with I think it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I started with that. I read, I think they're called Bones. They're like comics, graphic novels my brothers had. So I'd read those, and then eventually I worked my way up to Percy Jackson, and those books are written by Rick Riordan. I read all those. I read them all on Kindle, by the way. I don't have the paperbacks, sadly, but I don't know. This was like 8 years ago. But I'd read them on Kindle, and then I worked my way up to, was it Ranger's Apprentice? I do have an example of that right here. Sorry. I had all these organized because I had I classified my books in different categories. All right, I categorized my books. Anyways, so for this video, but this is Ranger's Apprentice. It's a really good book series, I think. I don't really want to go too much into it. Basically, there's these people called Rangers. They're kind of like law bringers, I guess. Like they bring law, stability, and order to like a medieval area. They're really good with bow and arrows and being stealthy and stuff like that. But that's Ranger's Apprentice. I started reading Gotrek and Felix, which is in Warhammer Fantasy. I don't have any of those paperbacks either because I read all those on Kindle. But yeah, that's my reading experience. I eventually just kept working my way up. I eventually started reading Lord of the Rings. But anyways, just skip all that. Let's just get right into it. How to get interested into reading, I guess, or how to want to read. I think the best way to start this is by, I don't know, seeing if one of your favorite movies or TV shows has a book series behind it. So, like, for example, by this, I mean, like, I don't know, Ready Player One, right? I found that to be a good movie. I actually read the books before the movie, and I was forced to do it for school to read the book. But I have that right here. I actually do have books that were movies or games right here. So, let me just grab these. So, pull out Ready Player One. Alright, here we go. So, you got Ready Player One. The book isn't too big compared to other ones. And I found it to be very entertaining. And, I don't know, it just caught my attention the whole time. I never really got bored reading it. And, yeah, in case you don't know, Ready Player One is basically video games have Easter eggs, right? So basically in Ready Player One, takes place, I think, the year 2045. Somewhere around there. This guy dies named Halliday. Basically, he was like wealth beyond imagining, like Mansa Musa type wealth. Richer than Elon Musk or any of the other rich dipshits in America or in the world. He had like $1 trillion, I think. He said, if you can complete my Easter egg, you can get $500 billion in all my assets, basically. So there's 3 keys and 3 hidden gates, and you have to find the keys and unlock the gates. And it's been like 16 years or something since the challenge was initiated. And yeah, I'm going to stop there. But, if you like video games, if you like the movie, I really think you'd enjoy this book. There's a lot of pop culture references to the 80s and 90s. I don't think really the 2000s. But, the whole thing, the guy was, like, grew up in the 80s, and I'm just going to stop. But, Ready Player One's there. I don't want to get stuck too long on one book, because that's a guaranteed. Spoiler, I will ramble from time to time about books. We got Maze Runner. I don't have the first book. At least, I don't know where I put it. This is book 3, so I think there is a third movie called The Death Cure. The books aren't too long, I would say. It would take you probably longer to read the book than to watch the movie, but, you know. Let's see, other ones. We got World War Z. I liked the book a lot. I never saw the full movie. I saw clips of it, but it interested me. When I was in middle school, the teacher had this out in his library, and I'm like, oh, can I borrow it? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I read it, loved it, and then I found it on Amazon. And then for video game adaptations, I almost forgot. One of the biggest ones, for TV shows and movies. Lord of the Rings. Do I have... I have the 3-book copy here. Like, it's 3 books in one. Lord of the Rings, I absolutely love the movies. I grew up watching the extended editions on DVD. I fucking love them. But, I would not recommend buying something this big. I would start smaller, like buy book 1. And hey, don't be ashamed to read stuff out of order, even though it might be confusing. I'm just saying, throwing that out there. If you think something looks cool, pick it up. And if you want to see, like, what the book's about, just read the summary page. I don't know if that's what it's called, but, like, right here, there's, like, a summary of the book. Some of them have, like, all their nominations and shit. I don't really give a fuck, but there's the summary. That's what I'm caring about. Lord of the Rings, great movie, great book. I warn you, if you've never read Lord of the Rings, this book is a lot different to other books. It's very different. It's written a lot differently. I'm not going to go too much into that, but there's, like, a shit ton of books about Lord of the Rings. We're going to bring up more later in the video. When we're talking about it. Let's just move this out of the way. There's also Game of Thrones. Now, I have not watched Game of Thrones, but I've watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I absolutely love that show. Me and my friend watched together. It was great. Time flew by really quickly. There's only 1 season out now, but there's a book series about it. And if you like Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I would recommend the book series. I heard it's good, and I heard it's more lighthearted. Not as dark as Game of Thrones. So, there's another suggestion. There's The Hobbit. I have the book right there. You can see in the corner. But that's more related to Lord of the Rings. So, I'm going to bring up... I only know one video game adaptation. Well, actually, there's Warhammer. But let's just start with this. Because this is more of a... I don't think a lot of people know about this. Assassin's Creed. There's a book series here about Assassin's Creed. I don't think it's about any of the characters from the games. I honestly don't really remember the characters from the games that much. I know there was... I'm not even going to try and say it because I'm probably going to get it wrong. But this is the first book in this series right here. I picked it up at a Scholastic book fair. I thought it looked pretty cool. I actually did enjoy reading it. $7. It's probably not $7 now, but... It's different from the games. I found it to be enjoyable when I was younger, so I might have a different opinion reading it now. But if you're looking for a video game adaptation, there's Assassin's Creed. Now, let's talk about Warhammer, because I think that's, in my opinion, one of the more... It started off as a board game, then they got the books, then they got the video game, so... Alright, let me just pick this up, move this out of the way. There's also, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Harry Potter. Sorry, no, I said we're going to talk about video games / Warhammer books, but we cannot forget to mention Harry Potter. Absolutely loved the book series. I grew up watching on DVD with my family, and my mom would also read this to me at night before I would go to bed when I was little. But books are great. It's kind of funny because if, like... I think I was reading this when I was in middle school. You almost age with the characters in the books as the books go on. So if you start reading this when you're 12, I don't know what age Harry was. I think, middle school, right? So if Harry was 12 in the first book and you're 12 reading it in real life, you actually age with him if you read one book a year. So you're aging with the character. So that's pretty cool. It's a great book series. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to go into too much detail about each book because, but I will about this. Harry Potter, boy with the scar, he survived the attack that was meant to kill him, which gave him the scar right there from Voldemort. Lives with really abusive people who somehow, I don't know, they raised him because he was their nephew, I guess. And then he goes to Hogwarts, the school for witches and wizards. I just realized I probably should have gave a better description of each book. But, yeah. That's the summary, basically, without me going into too much about it. You can go to Barnes & Noble and find these. You can go online and find all these books. Warhammer is the only one I've had trouble finding books for, paperbacks. This is $11. I'm sure you can find it online for cheaper. I don't think... I actually got a box set. I was lucky enough to get a box set when I was younger from my brother and his wife. And, I fell in love with the book since. I don't think the box set should be that price still. I saw the price and it, made my jaw drop. Because I know it's a box set, but still, man, it's fucking... It's not like these are hardbacks. These are fucking paperbacks. And it was very expensive. Alright, so we're done. We've done that. Warhammer. We'll talk about Percy Jackson after Warhammer. I will be going back to Lord of the Rings. But, alright, Warhammer time. Alright, ready? Let's go. I chose 2 examples. It was really hard for me to choose books to show about Warhammer. And this is actually... I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I judged the books by their covers, and I thought they looked fucking sick. I got this maybe 4 years ago now. I thought the cover looked amazing. Now, this is Warhammer 30K. For those who don't know, there's 30K, 40K. They're in the same universe, different time periods. This is before Warhammer 40K, right? This is the Siege of Terra, which is Earth. So this was the Siege of Earth by the Traitors. And I saw the cover, I saw the back of it. I don't know. It just looked super cool. Here's the little summary on the back there. It's a little blurry. But that basically summarizes the Siege of Terra series. Then right here we got Dark Imperium. And that's Bude Gilliman. These are some of his sons, fighting the Death Guard. This is a 3-part series right here, Dark Imperium. There's 3 books of this. I do have them, but I'm not going to get them right now. The Siege of Terra is, I think it's 11 books total. There's a bunch related to Siege of Terra, but the numbered books add up to 10. And this is what I was talking about when it's hard to find Warhammer books in paperback format sometimes, because I think Games Workshop does occasional printings of their book, and actually one of them, the last one that I've been looking for, I couldn't find in paperback. It's always fucking hardback, so it's like $35 for the book. But I'm trying to figure out how to not give too much detail away for spoiling the book. But basically, this is a Primarch, that's a Primarch, these are Space Marines. These are their sons, respectively. So, the Death Guard, these green dudes right here, they're the sons of Mortarion. The White Scars, which are these guys in red and white right here, the sons of Jagatai right here. And these are Space Marines. Space Marines are bio-engineered warriors to protect humanity. Colts conquer the stars. Basically super soldiers. They can live for extraordinary amounts of time. One of the current chapter masters in 40K has been alive for 1,000 years. But in the Horus Heresy, it was like a civil war between the Emperor and his favorite son, Horus. I know I didn't do too good of a job describing it, but I'm gonna grab another Horus Heresy book here because I really love Warhammer and I really think I should explain this. So you see these 2 books, right? They both take place in Horus Heresy, but you might see that they're 2 different sizes. They're both paperbacks, but that is just because this is called a mass market paperback, I think. Mass market paperback. Basically, they're smaller, travel-sized versions of these books. They're also a lot cheaper. By that, I mean this is $10, and this right here costed $18. Of course, you can find these books used on the internet, but I will say this, for at least these, they're not always cheaper, because people, I don't know why, they feel the need to post these. I do know why. It's like scalping. They post this for like, oh, $50. It's only for some of them, but it's just really ridiculous, and you might have trouble finding some of the paperbacks for Warhammer. They do mass market paperbacks for other book series. So like we got Lord of the Rings here, or a branch of Lord of the Rings, The History of Middle Earth, The Lost Road. This one was $9. As you can see, they're around the same size. And yeah, you can literally just fit in your pocket. I love these kinds of books, this smaller version. I like this too, but I can never find these, and they're always more expensive. Like, I found this at fucking Barnes & Noble, of all places. I actually found all these at Barnes & Noble, the majority of them. But, talking about Warhammer, there are other factions in Warhammer. There's elves, Necrons, which are like, I don't even know how to describe them. Futuristic mummies, I guess, who are undying. You got Chaos, which is demons and stuff. Just stuff like that. I love Warhammer. They also have a miniatures. I would be careful getting into that, because it can get really expensive, and they've just been jacking up the prices. Not even because of tariffs. I hate when people blame tariffs, because Warhammer's always been expensive. I'm just gonna go on a quick rant. It's always been expensive, and I know this because I remember when I was like a freshman, my parents bought me I always struggle in school. And my parents said, "Oh, if you can get honor roll for the year, we'll get you a starter set, or a start collecting box." I think I threw out the boxes now because they weren't nice. They were like thin cardboard, but they were 85 USD. This was 2020, right? So they are now like 150 USD for a box, and you can't say it's inflation. It's fucking plastic toys, man. Like, it's just crazy. Anyways, though, I did a rough summary of Warhammer. I judge the books off their covers. If they look cool, I'll buy them. Lord of the Rings, I don't judge them off their covers, and I'll still buy them because I love the books. Now, where to transition to next to talk about? I guess we should talk about anime, because that's another form of TV that some people watch. I do. I don't know how popular anime is, because people debate how popular it is. Anyway, it's not important. If you like anime, you probably already know that there's something called manga. I have an example right here to show. Let me just... I have one copy of Demon Slayer, one copy of Naruto. For those who don't know, you read manga like this. I think it's like down, like that. So you read it from right to left instead of left to right. And yeah, this is, you can tell there's a size difference here. This one has 3 like manga books in it. This one only has 1. I also got this one for cheaper. That's another thing about manga. I'll say it, and I think it's kind of dumb when you're trying to... Actually, this was only $10. I got this for $7 a use. They retail for $15, and I think most of these do retail for $15. So you're basically saving like, what was that, like $20 if you buy them like this. I don't know. They're cool. I don't really have much to say, to be honest. I've only... I started reading this one, but I think I finished this one. I actually really got into it because I saw it and I was like, wow, $7, why not? I don't know. I kind of just prefer watching anime, even though I know it's not the same, but that goes for all books and stuff like that when they're adapted to TV. Alright, well, that's that part about manga. Very short part. Let's just move this out of the way, I guess. Let's see. Before I talk about kids' books, or they're kids' books, but I'm saying they're suitable for kids to read, and adults can read them. I'm saying that because I don't know if I'd let I would not let my kid read Warhammer when they're 12. Maybe like when they're in high school, I'd let them read it, maybe. But before I move on to like books suitable for all ages slash like I don't know, people still in elementary school, middle school, high school, I want to talk about book types. I already briefly touched upon mass market paperbacks, which I heard are going out of business, but you can probably still buy them. I want to talk about the difference between hardcover, softcover prices, because I think it's really outrageous. Like, I know their quality, some of them are, like Warhammer. I don't know. I saw like a book YouTuber talking about something about how like they glue the hardcovers some together into the book and some you can take off. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not really on that, like, know that much about that lore. But I got a hardcover version of Lord of the Rings. I got a soft cover. I was like, oh wow, it would be really cool to get the entire book series of Lord of the Rings in hardcover. I saw a box that was for Fellowship of the Rings, 2 Towers, 3 Towers. No, not 3 Towers, sorry. Return of the King and The Hobbit. It was like $140, $150. It was between $120 and $150. I know that's a big jump, but still, it was triple digits. If you're getting into books, like into reading, buy either used books or go to your local library, right? That's another option. Or buy paperbacks. You can buy Kindle. Go ahead, by all means, buy Kindle. But I warn you about this. I don't know. I think it's better to have physical copies. Say, what if your Amazon account accidentally gets deleted, right? You lose all that. I think you can download it, but my point still stands. Like, if Amazon ever goes out of business, people can't go and say, yoink, I'm taking this paperback from you. Whereas with Kindle, you might not be able to keep those things. But please just buy a paperback or go to your local library or buy used. Don't before just investing into a hardback, because this was like $30, I think. This one was $30. I think it's cool, you know, like the pages. Let me hold it up. You can't really see it because my camera angle. Right there, like it's inked with blue. I don't know. It got pictures. I don't know. It's inked with blue and black and probably other colors. Got cool inked map. You know, you got a little summary page right there. But if you're getting into reading, stay away from this unless you're like filthy rich. I would recommend looking for mass market paperbacks too to save a few dollars. Like, I think I got Ready Player One for $15. That other copy I showed you. I know it looks brand new. My other copy is completely destroyed from how many times I read it when I was in middle school and high school. So, like, the back cover is gone. It just fell apart in my hands. Mass market paperbacks are cheaper. Just save you a few dollars. And don't go with something too big when you're getting into reading. Like, don't go with, I'm going to read the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's a horrible idea. I don't want you to get burnt out. Especially with Lord of the Rings. Don't start with Lord of the Rings unless you're super dedicated. It's very different to read compared to other books. You know, like the wording, the language he uses. It's very different. All right. Let's start yourself small. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. I've done a few takes now because I don't know how to edit. You know, just start small, please. Don't like go, I'm going to read this big ass fucking book. You know, you're going to get burnt out. You're not going to like it anymore. You know, just don't. It's just not a good idea, man. Book pile is growing. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the video, but yeah, you can also get box sets, like right here at the Lord of the Rings mass market paperback box set. This is $50. I got it for $25. It's 50% off on Amazon. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it may have been 40. So I got it for $25. They're supposed to be cheaper. They usually come with like a cool little box. You know, this feels very cheap, but that is what a mass market paperback is. Amazingly, the fucking Harry Potter one is like $95 for the box set. which I don't know what to say about that. That's insane, man. I think you can definitely get it for cheaper. All right, I've said enough about that. I'm just gonna move on to books for all ages now. I think Harry Potter is definitely one of those books. Ranger's Apprentice, why not? I think it's suitable for kids and adults, you know. So we got Harry Potter, Ranger's Apprentice, Hatchet. I think this is more of a kid's book, but adults can read it, I'm sure, and enjoy it. It's a very small book. A lot of words per page. It's enjoyable. I think either my mom had me read it or my school had me read it, and I actually did enjoy it. Basically, this kid's on a plane crashes in the woods, and he has to learn how to survive on his own until help arrives. So, yeah, there's that. And I think there are other books in the series, but I haven't read them, and I haven't read them, and I don't really have an interest to read them. Percy Jackson, enjoyable for kids and adults, I would say. This is the Heroes of Olympus. This, you can't really see it, sir. This is the Heroes of Olympus. This came out after Percy Jackson. And this is the 5th book in the series. I think Percy Jackson is also 5 books. So, pretty long series, 10 books. At least. And that doesn't even include the freaking spin-offs, which are still, like, how you say canon. I don't know. Like, you got the Trials of Apollo. I actually went to the special release for this by Barnes & Noble. Thank you, Barnes & Noble, for saying that this is your exclusive, you know, on this very nice hardcover. But it's a pretty good book series. I enjoyed it. Alright, put that there. I think this is more for middle schoolers, of course, because it literally says middle school, the worst years of my life. As you can tell, books in horrible condition. I really love this in middle school. It's basically about a middle schooler complaining to his imaginary best friend with, yeah. That's about it. Oh, Percy Jackson. I think I mentioned it for all these other ones. Basically, in this place, in this timeline, some people are born. Their parents are a god. They're one of the Greek gods from mythology, basically. Yeah, and they go to a place called Camp Half-Blood. They learn how to like train, fight monsters, and that's where they discover who their godly parent is, and they go on quests occasionally. And yeah, main character is Percy Jackson in that one. There's other demigods in this book. I won't say too much about that, but yeah. Oh, there's also Magnus Chase. This is another great book for kids and adults. I'm gonna grab it really quick, but it won't look that impressive because, like I said, was not good at maintaining stuff as a kid, which is a shame. Not proud of it, but oh my god, this is in horrible condition. This was in my basement for a while. My mom bought it and read it first. Magnus Chase in the Gods of Asgard. It's actually about a kid whose dad was a Norse god, or a god of the fray. I don't know. It takes place in the same timeline, and he's related to one of the main characters from the Percy Jackson series. Really great book, too. Put that one there. Holy shit, it's in rough condition. I do have other kids' books here. I just don't want to pull them out because I stirred up a shit ton of dust last time in my bedroom, pulling all these out. And I actually got sick today from the dust. I had to stay home. I would have gone. I just felt too tired to drive to college today. But we got an Origami Yoda book. I think I have the first book somewhere in my room. I will not grab it. Like I said, the dust. You know, the dust can bite back. But basically, some crazy kid, not crazy, he talks through an Origami Yoda puppet, you know, it's made of paper. Why is there a hole there? Wait, what? Holy shit, what? Did someone eat my book? Did I spill water on this? I probably spilled water on this. Great book for kids. I don't really know how to describe it, man. There's this weird kid with a puppet, paper puppet of Yoda. Here's the summary of it on the back. I honestly don't really know how to describe it because it's weird. Is it focused? Yep, now it's focused. Alright, that's the kids' books and adult books. This video's gone on for a while. Appreciate it if you're still watching. Let me know if you have any book suggestions down in the comments. I have some other stuff that could interest people in the reading. Let me move my Warhammer book. Lord of the Rings. Now, there's magazines, which I know isn't technically reading a book, but you're still reading. The way here. Now, this is another Warhammer thing, so brace yourself. We got White Dwarf. So it gets issued on a monthly basis, I think. It's just Warhammer news, Warhammer short stories, like right here. It's a short story. I don't recall what it was about. But, yeah, and it has cool paintings in it and stuff. And cool announcements. Like, this is Models from the Horus Heresy. But, yeah, you can find it for $15. It's usually how much they cost, these books and magazines. Yeah, I got mine from Bull Moose for $11. But you can subscribe to Warhammer's website and get them on a monthly basis, I think. That's about it. I wouldn't go more in depth about Lord of the Rings, maybe on another video. Just kind of feel bad because this video's gone on for long enough, and I had to reshoot it because of an issue I had last night. Is there anything else? Star Wars has a book series. If you watched, it's called Supernatural. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know where the fuck it went now, but I really like that show. I'm on season 1. I know there's a book series about it though. Percy Jackson actually does have a TV show now. I haven't watched it, but I will say I think it is different from the books. The plot, especially in the second book. What else? I don't really know. I haven't really gone book shopping in a while, to be honest. I have read all these books. And I have read most of the books I've shown today. Is there any other stuff I could show? I don't really got any history book suggestions. I get my history stuff through YouTube, to be honest. But I really hoped you all enjoyed watching. Sorry for the disorganization, not really used to doing this kind of content. I'm usually doing painting or gaming videos. And I always do them off the top of my head, no script. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and yeah, thank you. Have a good night. I'm gonna go do homework.